have good reason to believe that white sharks might be swimming in the coastal waters of Brittany. So the water is temperate here, so basically temperature ranging between 10 degrees in winter and 18 degrees in summer. We've noticed that the environment has changed quite a lot recently, especially in western Brittany. We've seen seal populations exploding, we've seen dolphin population getting closer and closer from the coasts. We've seen orcas coming back in the last couple of years, humpback whales. So clearly megafauna is really increasing. All the environmental conditions are favorable for white shark. It was a somewhat difficult process because we have some reports of white sharks being here, but there's no really compelling evidence. So basically the idea was to try to get people interested into this mission, into this expedition where there's absolutely no certainty to find anything. So we might spend the 2 weeks just fishing and catching nothing.
They told us we had to move 9 nautical miles from our current position, north-northwest. And that's the first anchorage we can use.
And that is basically just moving up into anchoring zones off of...
Okay, yeah, so on the coast.
So it's basically, we have no business being here.
It's just impossible.
Drove an awful long way to get that information right now.
Some of the areas we're working in are what are considered green areas. So they're areas where anchoring is very limited or not allowed. We knew we had permission to work in a protected space, but we didn't realize that we wouldn't be able to put our anchor down anywhere near where we wanted to be.
I mean, they've got to have some other anchorages around these islands. So we just.
But even then, it's like, I mean, if we can't come and find a position, you can be 100 yards away from a good fishing area and be on another planet.
So you definitely think the drift is out of the question?
I would just take the scientists with me. I mean, we can do that, but it's going to be an all-day thing, like all night, all day, all night, the next, who knows how many days. It doesn't make much sense to me to find an anchor. So should we just turn around and go back to where we just came from?
The bottom of the sea is protected, so it's characterized by large seagrass beds and marl beds. So of course you don't want to drop an anchor on this and that would damage the bottom. Because of that regulation, we had to change our strategy and we are now fishing by drifting. So we just set the line around the boats and we let the current and the wind push us and we drift on the ocean. In Brittany, we know that there's quite a few number of shark species. We have some spiny dogfish and then larger species that are mostly pelagic, like the blue shark that is supposed to be very abundant.
Swimming right at you. We're looking at a blue shark here that we're trying to capture. It's a small animal, maybe 5 feet. Most important reason to capture this animal is actually to remove this rope or plastic ring that's around its body that, will be the end of it if we can't capture it.
Yesterday we caught a young juvenile blue shark here off the coast of France. The animal happened to be entangled in a plastic ring. It looks like it's potentially the part of a hard plastic top of a bucket. And it clearly had swam through it a long time ago and had been unable to get it off itself.
All right, we need an animal on its side at least to get blood.
As simple as it looks to us, it's just a simple ring where if you back up, you could have easily had it fall off your head. Sharks swim forward. That's how they live their life. Where you saw that plastic is exactly where they become entrapped. It's right in front of their pectoral fins. It wraps around their gills, and when they're small like that shark, they're just going to keep growing, and that ring is not going to change, and eventually it compresses their gills, and many of those animals do actually die.
Plastic is really bad because it doesn't break down very fast.
It can go for ages. Have you seen how she was very damaged on the dorsal, and without this she would have finalized to die.
This is a real vivid lesson as to why we cannot throw plastic into the ocean or even on land, because it'll get into the watershed and eventually find its way to the ocean.
There was a pelvic fin on the left side below.
So it was very fortunate that we found her, in this young stage of life. We could get it off. Her wounds will very likely heal, and she'll grow up and become a big blue shark and be able to make more blue sharks because we pulled that piece of plastic off.
Working on the field in marine ecology and especially in megafauna is a big challenge because we really rely on that kind of boat that can take us at sea and try to observe our marine animals of interest. That's really a huge opportunity to have an organization as Ocearch coming here and provide us with this incredible piece of equipment and the experienced team.
The purpose of Ocearch is to bring regional scientists together so that we can create a complete study to really understand shark populations in a region. Our goal is to leave a team of people that have been introduced on this boat and will continue to work together in the future. So it's great to be in a new area, learning new species, seeing some new expertise.
It's very important here that when an area can support such a huge predator, it's really considered as a proof of good ecosystem health. In this perspective, it's really important to understand for how long do they exploit the area and how we can be sure that their use of the area is made sustainable.
Fish! We just got filmed, right? I don't know exactly what's going on, obviously, but it seems to me like there is a problem in a distribution port. But as of right now, I don't have any confidence that we can pick that anchor up.